early 1990s, the toy world was taken by storm by an unusual craze. Tiny, neon-colored rubber figures of monsters from mythology, folklore, and science fiction. Created by Matchbox, the Monster in My Pocket line quickly became a global phenomenon. As with any successful children's franchise of the era, a video game adaptation was inevitable. Fortunately, the license landed in the hands of Konami, a company at the absolute peak of its powers in 1992, famous for turning pop culture properties like TMNT, Tiny Toon Adventures, and The Simpsons into pure gaming gold. The end result? Monster in My Pocket for the NES is a wonderfully charming, visually inventive action platformer that squeezes the absolute most out of the 8-bit hardware. While it is on the shorter side, it remains one of the most delightful and overlooked hidden gems in the entire NES library. The plot is perfectly tailored to a cartoonish Saturday morning cartoon aesthetic. The good and evil monsters are shrunk down to the size of actual 2-inch plastic toys after a spell goes awry, and they find themselves stranded in Los Angeles. The villainous Warlock rallies an army of mythical beasts to conquer the human world. Standing in his way are the only two monsters who refuse to join his evil crusade: Dracula, the vampire, and Frankenstein's monster. This clever scale dynamic allows Konami to unleash incredible imagination in the stage design. Instead of navigating generic dark castles or medieval dungeons, your battlegrounds are ordinary, everyday locations, transformed into sprawling landscapes. You fight across kitchen counters, construction sites, a Japanese garden, and the city sewers. The game's greatest strength is its visual presentation and play on scale. Because you are playing as tiny 5-centimeter tall figures, mundane household objects become monumental obstacles. In Stage 1, you leap across giant cartons of milk, scale towering kitchen chairs, and take cover behind massive coffee mugs. Later on, a trip to a garden means avoiding giant falling raindrops from a sprinkler system that can actually crush your health bar. The sprite art is exceptionally clean, contrasting beautifully against the detailed backgrounds. Legendary Konami composers Hiroshi Takayasu and Kozo Nakamura delivered an absolute audio masterpiece for this cartridge. The music features that signature, driving, bass-heavy, and rhythmic Konami sound that immediately gets stuck in your head. Every single stage features a fast-paced, memorable chiptune track that perfectly complements the frantic action on screen. It easily ranks among the top 20 soundtracks on the system. Unlike games like Super Mario Bros., where players have to take turns, Monster in My Pocket allows 2 players to brawl simultaneously on screen. Player 1 takes control of the vampire, who attacks with a swift swipe of his cape, while Player 2 controls Frankenstein, who throws heavy punches. The cooperative gameplay is incredibly fluid and doubles the fun, making it an excellent choice for retro game nights. While the two protagonists look completely different, they control identically. Their attack range is exactly the same, their movement speed is mirrored, and both share a double jump ability, which was quite ahead of its time for the NES. The combat system relies entirely on one button to attack and one button to jump. There are no special moves, no character progression, and no lasting power-ups. Occasionally, you can pick up a massive screw or a key to throw at enemies, but otherwise, the core loop can feel a bit repetitive after the first 20 minutes. Konami pushed the NES hardware incredibly hard with the level of detail on display. Unfortunately, the console struggles to keep up when the action gets intense. When more than 3 enemies, 2 players, and multiple projectiles occupy the screen at once, the game suffers from severe sprite flickering. Your character will literally blink out of existence for fractions of a second, which can occasionally lead to cheap, frustrating hits during tight platforming sections. The game is notoriously short. Comprising only 6 stages, an experienced action game player can easily blast from the opening cutscene to the end credits in about 30 to 45 minutes. To artificially lengthen the experience, Konami relied on a classic 8-bit trope. The final level forces you into a boss rush, making you fight every major boss you already defeated back-to-back before you can face the Warlock. Unlike Konami's famously brutal and punishing titles like Castlevania or Contra, Monster in My Pocket is remarkably accessible, fair, and forgiving. Most minor enemies are vanquished with a single punch. Health-restoring food items, like donuts and meat, appear frequently, and the game grants you infinite continues. This ensures that even casual gamers can realistically reach the end of the game without tearing their hair out. The difficulty only spikes slightly in the final 2 stages, which introduce trickier instant-death bottomless pits and moving platform hazards. Monster in My Pocket for the NES is a textbook example of how to make a high-quality licensed game out of a commercial toy line. It lacks the mechanical depth of a Mega Man title or the sheer scope of Super Mario Bros. 3, but it more than compensates with tight controls, unparalleled music, and a wonderfully nostalgic atmosphere. It is the perfect, breezy retro game to play with a friend on a weekend afternoon.